I can't believe that this isn't something that's mainstream. That, I mean, 400,000 people dead. I can't believe this isn't something that's like on the cover of a newspaper on a daily basis.
Have you heard about the whole Darfur situation? No, I haven't. Not at all.
As of right now, no.
I wasn't aware of that. So maybe that's common.
How old are you?
I don't know why. You know, because I'm online every day, and I always check out the news and the headlines and all that. So, but I've never seen any clips like that.
This is the region of Darfur. The majority of them are farmers and herders who spend most of their lives within their villages and continue their family farms generation to generation. There is a strong ethnic diversity here, composing of 40 to 80 different ethnic groups. Nearly 99% of Darfur's inhabitants are Muslim, while the rest are Christian and other religions. Darfur resided in simple existence until February 2003, when two Darfuri rebel groups, the Sudan Liberation Movement, SLM, and the Justice and Equality Movement, GEM, attacked Sudanese government military installations in response to the historical, political, and economic suppression in Darfur. The Sudanese government responded immediately and violently, casting a wake of destruction and death to over 400 villages in Darfur. The attacks were carried out by the Janjaweed, a Sudanese government armed militia group composed mostly of Arab and African men from the Abala tribe. At first, the Janjaweed targeted particular ethnic groups that forwarded the most support to GEM and SLM. Eventually, the Janjaweed would attempt to extinguish any Darfuri village or group.
I know, for instance, a lot of stuff with the war, they post certain things on certain news channels of what they believe is true. So yeah, a lot of it's protected or the way they want something to look.
They'd wonder why the United States, as the humanitarian nation, isn't doing something about it. They might wonder where our interests lie.
What's the word I'm thinking of? Genocide for that country.
Those who were not killed fled to the neighboring country of Chad, who today house nearly 2.6 million Darfuri refugees. In the next 2 years, Darfur would experience the killing of over 300,000 of its people, while about 4.7 million out of its 6 million would be affected in some way by the conflict. Regardless of the growing recognition of Darfur's genocide, no major action has been done to stop it. Currently, the 6,000-man African peacekeeping force that has attempted to provide defense to the Darfurians, though the group is majorly under-equipped and under-financed. Response to the genocide in Darfur are largely from humanitarian groups such as Amnesty International, who began documentation of Darfur early into the conflict. Since then, other groups such as the Save Darfur Coalition have made efforts to publicize and expose the events in Darfur. The United States, Britain and the European Union have repeatedly condemned the atrocities, but have failed to carry out actions to stop the war.
You don't want to see that happen to anyone, and especially someone that seems so helpless.
If we allow them to do something like that and don't step in, I mean, that opens the door for anybody else to do it.
I think it's morally wrong to turn our backs on it.
Because we refuse to believe that it was happening, and we didn't, oh, it's across the ocean from us, so it's not our problem.
Many countries are reluctant to aid Darfur because of its bleak profit opportunities, and more particularly, Chinese-owned oil refineries. In March of 2005, an official referral of the events in Darfur were presented to the prosecutor of the International Criminal Court. Security Council Resolution 1564 was one of many steps the UN took to encourage a plan of action in Darfur. The resolution passed with 11 voting in favor, and the United States and China abstaining.
I think at least for me, first reaction is shock, just because, you think that as time has gone on that things have changed in our society and the way we treat others. But, obviously, a lot of us in America are kind of naive to what's surrounding us. And, we have religious freedom, and if it's about oil, that makes me sick to my stomach, because, think of how much we use here.
Today, there is still violence in Darfur. The Sudanese show no signs of retreat and will not stop until all Darfurians are exterminated.
Did you know that if you write a letter to your congressman, stick it in an envelope, address it, lick it, stamp it, and mail it, it will end up on his desk? The problem is that somewhere along the line, people have just stopped caring. Don't you feel that what's happening to these people is wrong? Then why do you feel that it's not your duty to be involved? One letter to one politician seems rather minuscule in the scope of things. But if every person that truly felt this was a genocide, that is a crime against humanity, wrote one letter, well then that would be an enormous force that would need to be answered. If you send a letter to your congressman, it will be read. Isn't that gratifying in itself, knowing that your voice on a topic will be heard? And if writing a letter to save someone's life is still too much to ask, then there's an even easier way. SaveDarfur.org has a petition urging our government and the UN to take action. Within 3 clicks of a mouse, in about 60 seconds, you can sign a petition that will make a difference. And after you've agreed that this is a problem, and you've made the choice to take action, no matter how small that may be, tell somebody about it. We're blinded as a society. We've been lied to by the media, and this isn't something new. Our eyes have been covered in this country for a long, long time. This is the exact reason why the rest of the world calls us stupid American. Well, that's over now. Because now you know the truth about what's happening. And now it's your duty to do something about it. Take action and spread the truth.